keep the same order, for this is a follow-up question. In your estimation, what makes you the best candidate for Mercer County Sheriff? And tie this in with their answer of what your goals include. Again, in your estimation, what makes you feel that you're the best candidate for Mercer County Sheriff? Please tie this into your answer of what your goals are. Mr. Nelson.
I feel I'm qualified to be sheriff. I've had 28 years of law enforcement in Mercer County. I worked for Aledo for 24 years. I was chief of Aledo. I was assistant chief for 14 years. I like to work for the public. I have for many, many years. I work for the people of Aledo, but I like to work for the people of the county and the job. I'm going to be a working sheriff. I don't feel there's 8 hours a day of administrative work. So I'll be a working sheriff, like I was when I was chief. People from Aledo used to seek me out in the squad car all the time. I'd be handling accidents. I still did the administrative work, but I'd go outside and work the calls with my officers. I've never asked an officer to do something I wouldn't do. So my goal is to be a working sheriff and take care of the public in Mercer County, and I think my experience speaks for itself.
Mr. Soseman, again, in your estimation, what makes you feel that you're the best candidate for Mercer County Sheriff? Please tie that into the goals.
Popular to contrary belief, the sheriff is an administrator. He's not a deputy, nor should he be. He is not elected to do that position. He is elected to administrate a very large budget and to manage close to 50 employees. I have over 15 years of business and management experience, and that is what I am bringing to Mercer County. I feel that my understanding of profit and loss, budget analysis, will bring a higher level to Mercer County and to the Sheriff's Department. And basically, I'm willing to come out of the private sector to step into the role of administrator for the Sheriff's Department. Thank you.
Mr. Thompson, in your estimation, what makes you feel that you will continue to be the best candidate for Mercer County Sheriff? And we tie that into response to the goals that you have.
Well, I believe I'm the best candidate for Mercer County Sheriff due to the experience that I have and in my training. I have over 22 and a half years of police experience. 18 of those years in administration. I was chief deputy for 10 years and the sheriff for 30 Lansing. And I've been sheriff now for almost 8 years. As far as training goes, I've had several classes in police administration, including police supervision, employee evaluations, police ethics, integrity-driven policing, small law enforcement agency management, internal affairs, hiring and background investigation, as well as being trained in incident command and the National Incident Management System. I feel that my experience, 22 and a half years, I'm a businessman too. I'm in the business of law enforcement. And that's what I've done for the past 18 years as an administrator. And I feel that's what makes me the best candidate.
Thank you, gentlemen. The next question, Mr. Soseman, you're going to lead off answering this question, and you'll all have 3 minutes to answer it. What is the biggest challenge facing the next sheriff of Mercer County?
I feel the biggest challenge that faces Mercer County right now is the fact that this growing budget is out of control and it needs to be roped in. Our county cannot afford to lose officers because of mismanagement. It's going to come to that. There's other departments in the state of Illinois that have had to lay off police officers. That does no good for Mercer County. We need to look at better relationships, again, with the citizens. We need to look at all aspects that go along with the sheriff's department. And there are many. I realize that there's many areas that the sheriff is in charge of, including the jail, all his police officers, and even part of the courthouse. So I'm just asking that the people of Mercer County take a look at what is really needed in the sheriff's position and what we can do, or what I can do for you.
Thank you. Sheriff Thompson, you're next. Same question. What is the biggest challenge facing the next sheriff, or should you be elected in your next term as sheriff?
The biggest challenge that we're facing the sheriff would be the jail project. Just to clarify a few things. First of all, it was not my idea to build a jail. County board pulled the trigger on that. It was their decision to build the jail. I do support it, but it's going to be a lot of work, not just for me, but for the entire staff. We could probably have as many as 50 to 60 additional inmates. We're going to be hiring 4 additional correctional officers. That's going to be a lot of inmates, a lot of responsibility for people that are going to be in the jail and for myself. But I believe that we have a plan in place that we're working on putting a plan in place that will allow us to be successful in not only bringing inmates in, out of county inmates in, but running the jail, keeping everyone safe, of course, keeping inmates behind bars where they're supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nelson, same question to you, sir. What's the biggest challenge facing the next sheriff of Mercer County?
I feel the biggest challenge is going to try to keep that jail full of federal inmates. I wasn't for the jail. I was against it, to be honest with you. To keep the federal inmates in there, to try to generate money for the county. And that's going to be the hardest role for the sheriff. I don't care who it is. It's just the jail staff. It's just going to be impossible. You know, there's no contract from the federal government. It's just word of mouth. And I called the sheriff from Henry County, talked to him. He said 2002 he built a new jail, and his federal inmates number's down right now. He's never had full since it's been built, and he's losing money. So whoever's going to be sheriff, I believe that's going to be the biggest challenge in this new jail addition we got. Because right now, I think there's 36 beds. Supposedly they're going to increase it to 72. I was told sometimes it's hard to keep 36 beds full. So if you can't keep 36 full, I don't have to get inmates to do 70. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Our next question, and Sheriff Thompson, you'll be the first to answer. And this will be to each of you, 3 minutes apiece. And this comes from a concerned parent.
how do you feel about federal prisoners being 2 blocks from our elementary school?
Good one.
We've been housing federal inmates at the Mercer County Sheriff's Office. This particular jail since about the past 12 or 13 years. We currently, we do have a capacity of 36 inmates. Today we were at 45. In 2009, our average population is 44 inmates. We need, not only is the new jail going to, will be housing federal inmates to raise revenue for the county, but it's also going to be making room for our own county inmates. We've had more county inmates over the past 4 years. It keeps escalating. We've been averaging 20 to 21 of our own county inmates over this past year. As far as being 2 blocks away from the school, as I said, we've been housing inmates at that particular facility, federal inmates, for the past 12 or 13 years. We've been housing inmates in there since 1988. I feel as, again, we have a professional staff. Security is our #1 priority. And to be honest with you, I'm not afraid that there's going to be any problems with where the schools are located as far as the jail is concerned.
Thanks, Sheriff. Mr. Nelson, you're next to answer that question. From a concerned parent, how do you feel about federal prisoners being housed 2 blocks from our elementary school?
Well, I agree with Sheriff Thompson. Mercer County Jail is a very secure area. They've got good employees that keep an eye on things, and they've been housing federal prisoners for several years. So I don't have a concern about that. And most of them federal prisoners are short timers that they stay with Mercer County anyway. If it's a long time thing, I'm going to talk like years, like a sentence, and then they bring their families down, I would be real crazy about that. The way it is now, it's just short-term people that come in there just to wait for the court or whatever it is. And the building's secure, they got good jail staff, so I'm not concerned about being close to the school.
Thank you, Mr. Soseman, same question to you, sir. From a concerned parent, how do you feel about federal prisoners being housed 2 blocks from our elementary school?
I am also aware that we have been housing federal prisoners here. My dad was an employee at the Mercer County Sheriff's Department when they started housing. To my knowledge, there's never been an escape of a federal prisoner, but there has been escapes from Mercer County Jail. And with the federal inmates that are being held in Mercer County, some of them are there on drug charges, some of them are there on other charges, but they are all awaiting trial. Now, if they're looking at 40 or 50 years after their trial's done, are they thinking about escape? There's a good possibility they are. And it is something that we have to consider, and they are very close in proximity to this school right here. And with young children, it is a concern of mine. As well, it should be on everybody's mind that has kids that go to these schools. I do believe that they are well staffed down there, and I do believe that the jailers, and I know several of them, over their dead body, would they let somebody escape from that jail. But it does happen, and it can happen. So it looks like we're going to end up with federal detainees. So everybody say a prayer that it never happens.